Gravitz Sports Show.
What's happening, party people? Welcome to the Adam Gravitz Sports Show. This is Jack. Say hello, Adam.
What's going on, everyone? I'm tired, so let's get this show on the road. I'm just tired.
Show on the road. You're tired. Well, let's up that energy. Your lethargy, your slothness.
Yeah.
Sounds like LeBron with a couple minutes left in the game. Despite all the hard work and effort and carrying the team on his back, one of the greatest players of all time missed a couple bunny hoppers that would have sent overtime.
And they're out. They got swept. I mean, look,
even if he had made those, they probably still would have lost, and they still would have not won the.
I mean, it's incredible how disrespected Denver was like all season for a number one seed. Like they were number one in a very tough Western Conference for basically the entire season.
Yeah,
and yet they were just doubted at every turn. Like, oh, they're going to lose to Phoenix because they have Durant and Booker. Oh, well, now they get to play the Lakers with AD and LeBron. There's no way they can beat the Lakers. It's just Denver's just awesome. Like Nikola Jokic is the true. Like he should have been the MVP. I mean, obviously he can't re-vote. The team around them is so perfectly built. Like Jamal Murray is an awesome point guard. Michael Porter Jr., who I remember when the draft happened. Remember when he kept on falling? Falling, and I was like, holy shit, the Wizards. Like, he was picked right before the Wizards, and then I read an article right afterwards that said, even had he been there at 15, do you know Ernie Grunfeld still wouldn't have taken him?
Why not?
He just wouldn't have taken him because of injuries. And it's just, that is what, like, I mean, but then they also just have the right role players. KCP.
Yeah.
Perfect fit there. They're just so Bruce Brown. Like it's just a perfectly built team, and Michael Malone's a great coach. So, congrats to the Nuggets for their first ever NBA Finals appearance and first ever sweep, also, which is pretty crazy.
First ever sweep of what?
Ever in a series
from the Nuggets. Huh?
Yeah, never swept.
Well, it's hard to sweep. It's hard to sweep.
Right, so there's now 3 teams, I think they said, in the NBA now that have never swept. I forgot who it was. It's 2 Western Conference teams. But, yeah, it was awesome. I mean, LeBron did all he could last night in defense. But, like, D'Angelo Russell was horrific this entire series.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis showed up here and there. When Austin Reeves is, like, your second most consistent player, it's going to be kind of tough. You know what I am tired of, though? I am really tired of everybody just being like, look at Rui Hachimura. He's going to get like 15 million. Like, people act like Rui Hachimura is like this great player. It's like, no, when he's surrounded by 2 Hall of Famers, he's going to go up. Like, he did this with the Wizards at times where he would like put up really big numbers. But then he also, and again, not discounting mental health, he sat out half a season for mental health like 2 years ago. Like, you know what I mean? He was also hurt.
Yeah.
A lot of the time with the Wizards. Like, I'm not like, let's stop pretending like Rui Hachimura is some like legitimate starter in the NBA. He's not. He's a sixth man. That's what he's probably best built to be. We all knew he was a reach when they took him, but like, I'm just tired of all these Lakers people on like social media being like, look how dumb the Wizards are, blah, blah. It's like, he didn't really give the Wizards much of a choice.
He honestly did the same stuff. It didn't help the Wizards either.
Now, in our defense, we could have gotten way more for him had we waited. That's on us. That's because Tommy's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
But, you know, acting like Rui Hachimura didn't, like, I don't know if he didn't try with the Wizards, but he wouldn't do this consistently.
That's fair.
So, you know, it is what it is. I'm not like, I don't, you know, I hope someone gives him $15 million a year because you're going to be really disappointed.
He's a nice sixth man.
I don't even know if he's a sixth. I mean, maybe he's a sixth man. Maybe.
He brings offense off the bench.
Yeah, and he doesn't bring much else.
Yeah. And he's going to be, I mean, he'll get double digits in 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and he'll be like around, his plus minus will mostly be between -2 and +4.
Yeah,
and there might be every 10th game he'll have a pretty very good game.
I just found it annoying though. Like you know what I'm talking about? How everyone would just shit on the Wizards. Now again, the Wizards were stupid for the trade.
They deserve to be shit on, but that's not so.
We shit on them for God knows how long. But anyway, this now I will say another thing I am very annoyed at is the narrative of LeBron being like, I'm considering retirement. You're not considering retirement. Shut up. He's doing this, and again, I'm not going to disrespect the guy's obvious basketball skill and all that stuff. He's doing this because he just wants to be part of the narrative of he's out of the playoffs, but he still wants to be talked about. He's not retiring. You and I both know he's not retiring.
Yeah.
True or false? You think he's retiring?
No chance.
He's full of shit. He's doing this to just he's doing this because he's saying Lakers, get me Kyrie, which is what I think is what everyone's talking about. That'll work. I'm sure Austin Reeves will be ecstatic to see that Kyrie will now be taking all of his shots.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm just whatever. LeBron, whatever. I'm happy they're out. I think I'm happy there's new blood, I guess. So that's cool. In the Eastern Conference Finals, as I'm currently watching, the Miami Heat look like they're going to, finish off the Celtics tonight. They're up by 6 with at about 45 seconds to go in the first half. Boston is in. I don't know what Boston does. When they do eventually lose the series, because you can fire Joe Mazzulla because he's an idiot. He's completely incompetent. He makes some of his decisions. He makes Wes Unseld Jr. look smart, and that's saying stuff.
Yeah, well,
but I'm seeing people being like, "Oh, you have to trade Jaylen Brown and all this stuff." Okay, I guess. What are you getting better than Jaylen Brown?
Nothing.
They're gonna have to. Basically, what Boston has to do is I personally would still build around Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum,
right?
But then the ancillary pieces, what you have to improve.
Yeah, get depth.
I've also seen some people being like, "Oh, the if this happens, the Wizards should trade, Beal for Brown straight up." It's that doesn't help the Wizards.
Correct.
I know maybe I sound stupid, but it's just replacing Bradley Beal with Jaylen Brown isn't going to make you all of a sudden a legitimate contender.
No, it just gets rid of Beal.
Right, you just get rid of Beal, and you're still Jaylen Brown is still eligible for a supermax extension, so he's going to be getting a ton of money too.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make any sense. But I will be fascinated to see what Boston does when they lose this series.
I do like that Brown played 67 games during the year. That's something Beal doesn't do.
Playoffs. He also wants to be the guy. He would technically be the guy in Washington, but you get my point. Even if somehow the Wizards were able to get off, they'd have to pay him all that money.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not going to get them more. You think he's going to get them all of a sudden to a 50-win team?
No, because he's partnered with Tatum. It's a different dynamic.
It makes no sense.
Doesn't make sense.
Talking about trading for Jaylen Brown.
No, they need to get draft picks and pick well.
Which, speaking of, by the way, I know we always talk about the Wizards, but we still have no GM, so that's cool.
Yeah, the draft is coming up. I was mentioning we need to get good draft picks.
Huh?
Yeah, the way the Wizards need to get better is to get draft picks and pick well, and they don't even have a GM yet.
We need to trade Bradley Beal for picks and young cost controllable players. Yeah. But we have no GM because apparently they're waiting on Bob Myers to tell him to go fuck himself. Which
you think that's what's going to happen?
Which is a really weird strategy to just put all your eggs in the Bob Myers basket, who literally is hasn't said he wants to. I've heard that he doesn't if he doesn't go back to Golden State, he's just going to sit out a year or something. Why would he come to Washington? It would be great. It'd be a home run hire for us, but why would he come here? I'm honestly asking you. Can you give me an answer? Why would you come to DC? They don't the Wizards.
Money.
Money. What is?
Challenge.
Can I ask you a question?
I don't know.
When has Ted Leosa shown a propensity to want to pay anybody?
Maybe he'll get a good deal. I don't know.
But my point is why would you? If you're Bob Myers, it's the Wizards have probably one of the bleakest futures of any lottery team. Right?
Mm-hmm.
This isn't a team, like a San Antonio, like a Houston, I'd say even in Indiana or Orlando. If this was Orlando, I'd be yeah, go to Orlando. They have young talent.
Mm-hmm.
They've got 2 lottery picks. Yeah, I'd go there in a heartbeat. But Washington's like stale bread. They're stale milk or whatever.
No, they're Atlanta.
Huh?
So they're the Atlanta Hawks we always talked about.
It's like they have no future. It's like, yeah, if you want to win 35 games a year, like come to Washington. But it's just like I don't know. I don't really like.
Why would you come to Washington? Generally good job security, low expectations.
Yes.
And an opportunity to take on a challenge that if you do well, it's something that no one's done before.
It's relatively fair. That's a fair
I don't know.
point. Here's the deal. Just hire Trajan Langdon and start doing some pre-draft workouts. Because that's another thing I saw in an article say. We haven't scheduled a pre-draft workout publicly. We have the 8th pick and 2 second-round picks. What the fuck are you doing? Like, what are you waiting for? This organization, and they wonder why everybody, like, they're the most irrelevant organization in the NBA. This is why.
Yeah.
Because they just don't know how to do anything properly. So that's cool. What else? I don't know. What else? I mean, there's not really a lot. Like, I don't care about hockey. You do. I don't care.
No, I don't care about the hockey, but
I'm sure the NHL is really excited about those 2 huge markets of Vegas and Florida.
Well, here's a good point. So Vegas.
Yes.
The Vegas Knights.
Yeah.
When the Caps won their Stanley Cup.
We can live in the past. Like all
I just want to say, all right. So yeah, that's the whole point. So the Caps beat the Vegas Knights to win the Stanley Cup. Is that correct? My memory serves me so long ago.
That's correct. Yes.
The Vegas Knights have maintained their level of play and competitiveness since then, and your Washington Capitals are missed the playoffs.
That's correct.
Like a couple times.
Yes,
and have run through a number of head coaches.
Yes.
An endless carousel of goalies who were supposed to be the next hot goalie that then traded all of them to then get broken down old goalies who didn't play well.
What's your point?
Well, it's just a note that your boy Ted is a bad owner.
Oh, I've said. I mean, I'll say that till I'm blue in the face. He's the worst owner. He's one of the worst owners in professional sports. I mean, the difference between the Vegas Knights and the Capitals is that the Vegas Knights are not like the oldest team in hockey. Also, all the Capitals' top players are all like injured.
Mm-hmm. That's true too.
So, like, it is what it is. But no, I mean, like, I don't think the NBA and NHL are ecstatic about like potentially a Denver, Miami, and a Vegas Golden and a Vegas.
Not big TV markets. No,
not big TV markets. Yeah, it's not great. It's not. Also, what sucks, it's not the NBA's fault, but like if the Heat win tonight, there's an 8-day break.
I like that.
Already, it's like you're not getting Lakers Celtics, and now we have to wait 8 days.
I don't mind that. That's good. The teams need to rest.
Oh, shut up, Jack.
They need rest.
I mean, it's not, like, as a basketball fan, I don't really want to be like waiting 8 days before games come on. That's tough. That's all. I think it stinks.
Yeah, and then baseball. My Orioles are the second best team in baseball record wise, but I think it's I was just watching the game the other night, actually the Toronto series, and it's remarkable. I think they might be really good.
Well, here's the thing though that would suck if I was an Orioles fan.
What's that?
The Angels just show no propensity to want to pay anybody.
Doesn't matter.
It does.
It doesn't matter. No, it doesn't. It doesn't matter.
Here's why it matters. Here's why it matters.
Why?
So I agree with you. The Orioles are a really fun team to watch. They do a lot of really good things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Here's the problem.
Okay.
I would say you're gonna make the playoffs. I think at this point
it's perfectly possible.
So they'll make the playoffs.
Yeah.
But how can you compete when your number one pitcher is Kyle Gibson?
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
It doesn't matter. Also, more pitchers are coming back. Also, there's a couple things. There's a whole slew of. Okay, here's I'll tell you how that's going to work.
I love how you'll do.
I'll tell you how this works. Okay, so one.
You're like a Republican person. You twist everything I say.
I'm not twisting anything I'm saying. I'm just giving you reasons to have hope that it's not just on the shoulders of Kyle Gibson.
Twisted.
Okay, one. The Orioles bullpen is like number 1 in baseball.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so the team, just like the Rays of years past,
basically you're going to say if they make the playoffs, all the starting pitchers have to do is get to
the fifth inning. Yep, get to the 5th inning. Next,
she'll tax your bullpen, and then when you get to the ALCS, they'll be
no. It does. There's so many arms, and then there's a whole slew of other pitchers coming back from injury. That come trade deadline, they may package some of the other bodies to then get a starting pitcher.
You do agree, though, it's very annoying, though, as an Orioles fan, when your owner shows no willingness to want to pay.
Additionally, I also think again some of the
question. You don't avoid. I
don't look sure, but the Nats don't pay anybody either.
What?
The Nats don't pay anyone either.
Because the Nats are going through a complete rebuild.
But the Nats weren't paying anyone a couple years ago. That was the whole. They were going through a complete rebuild because they were cheap. They didn't sign.
No. It's crazy how in Washington, D.C. we have like the cheapest owners.
Okay, and then I want to talk about what's next too. So they don't pay anyone, that's fine. But the Orioles also have like the number one farm system. So even then,
no, all those guys are up now. So
there's still more guys. There's still more guys down there.
They know the number one farm system.
Okay, fine. They have number 5 farm system.
Okay, but no, it's not as great as you think.
Okay, there's plenty of bodies who are going to come up. So even if they lose. But
I get it. It's fine being an Orioles fan. I get it. Like the Orioles are great. Like they're fine. I'm just saying.
I think
like
they're good.
It would be nice if as an Orioles fan you actually spent money on like a frontline starting pitcher.
Sure. Well, I think they got better faster than they thought they were going to be.
You still can spend. That actually means you should spend money.
No, I'm saying I think they didn't think they'd be this good this year.
So you should just So then if you. Okay. So
what I would do trade deadlines. I trade some future bodies for a starting pitcher right now.
I'm not talking about just a starting pitcher. I'm talking about like
a good one.
Starting pitcher.
I would trade some of our future parts that are like top 10 prospects.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I'd go trade deadline. I would go get a legit starting pitcher.
Jacob DeGrom.
I want fucking Max Scherzer on this roster.
That doesn't make any sense.
Max 100-year-old Max Scherzer.
Like the next, I don't know who's out there, but like.
Don't forget, John Means is coming back.
Bad teams has to have like an elite frontline pitcher. Sure. They'll be willing to trade. I'm just saying, no, it's fine as an Orioles. Like I get it. The Orioles are fun to watch. Like they're good. Rutschman's awesome. All this stuff. But like, as an Orioles, I'd be very frustrated though to be like, oh, cool. We're in the hardest division in baseball, and our big like free agent signing this past year was Kyle Gibson.
Okay, but those are frustrations and concerns you could have had a couple months ago, but right now it's not mattering. Doesn't matter.
Okay. I mean, again,
and I'm not even worried about this. There's nothing to worry about. It's fun. They're winning, and they keep winning, and they're beating all the quote tough teams.
Also, it's such a tough division that like
and they've beaten all those teams. They've beaten all those teams.
The problem is they're in a division that one bad week.
Okay, they just swept the Blue Jays. And they're like 2.5 games out of.
I understand what I'm trying to say, though. That they're in such a.
Yeah, no, it's all right. There's no margin for error. You're right.
There is no margin for error.
But the reality is, even if they don't win the division, they're still in good shape to make the playoffs. As the AL East is an unstoppable. I mean, they should let the whole AL East be in the playoffs.
At this point, that's not a terrible. I mean, yeah, the AL Central probably shouldn't have any teams in. I agree.
No, it's not fair. But that's baseball, that's sports, and it's nice. Again, when we talk about, we had a similar conversation in April.
I'm checking the score right now. They're beating Garrett Cole. They beat Garrett Cole right now.
All I'm saying is that when we had this conversation in early April, you were like, "It's cute they won a couple games, but there's no chance that they're going to be competitive in a month."
I didn't think they would be, and they've surprised me.
Yeah, so that's nice. It's nice to. I mean. It's nice. It's a rare thing in the last couple of years to like throw on the TV with some sports and like whenever and like actually have it be like competitive and interesting versus just background noise.
You also know that we are 100 days away from college football.
That's great.
100.
I'm excited about that.
College football.
Mm-hmm.
There was an article that came out.
Yes, your article.
Okay. I forgot. Now I'm not allowed to fucking talk about it. Instead, we have to fucking talk.
I like it. No, tell me about the article. What site was it on?
It was on ESPN Insider.
ESPN. Okay.
It was the top 75 quarterbacks since the year 2000.
Okay.
Conventional wisdom, you'd be like, oh, it's maybe Tim Tebow.
Mm-hmm. That's what I said.
Maybe it's Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Maybe. Nope.
RG3.
I would never put RG3.
RG3 in college football quarterbacks? Yes, absolutely.
Okay, we'll get into the. Okay, fine. Anyway, it was none of those people. It was Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, look, Baker had 100+ touchdowns in his last 3 years of football.
Okay, so you're going
in a competitive conference.
What conference are you playing?
It's Big 12, right?
And do they play any defense in the Big 12 whatsoever? Yes.
So it's college football. No one plays defense.
Okay, so
Unless you're on Georgia and Alabama.
You're such a fucking idiot. I can't even, you know what?
I'm just messing with you. Look, we had this conversation earlier. I named like 50 quarterbacks, and I finally got to Baker Mayfield, right?
Funny, you didn't even name my quarterback, which is
Jameis?
a funny thing. Jameis Winston, and yes, I am very biased on this, was the 16th rated quarterback behind Kellen Moore.
Yeah.
You tell me on what planet Kellen Moore should be ranked ahead of Jameis Winston. Go. And if you say it's because of stats, I'll fucking put Jameis Winston on Boise fucking State and see what he's doing, Jack.
I think we discussed that the criteria for being that high up would be a Heisman candidate or Heisman winner and a national championship.
To be top 10.
Yeah.
Since the 2-year 2000, in my opinion, the criterion should have been you won a Heisman and you won a national championship. That's it. If you don't have that criterion for the top 10, you're not in the top 10. That's it. No,
that's fine.
Kellen Moore is not a better quarterback than Jameis Winston. I don't care what the number. Somebody was like, "Oh, well," I was listening to a thing. It was like, "Oh, he went 50-3." How many of those 53 games were tough games? You think in his career? Tough.
3.
There you go. If you put Kellen, this will be a big one. You put Kellen Moore on the 2013 Florida State Seminoles. You think they win the national championship? Probably not, Jack.
Probably not.
Jameis Winston being 16th was a disgrace.
The whole list.
It was a disgrace. I'm sorry.
The whole purpose of the list is to get people shouting about it.
People like me yell and scream. I understand that.
Yeah.
And it worked. Because seeing Baker Mayfield and Kyler Murray and arguably ahead of Jameis Winston is a joke.
Look, Jordan Lynch and Colin Klein are on the list. Pat White, top 20, top 30 is Pat White.
Jordan Lynch was on the list.
Jordan Lynch is 49th.
We beat that guy from Northern Illinois.
Mm-hmm. He's ranked ahead of J.T. Barrett.
Oh, I know. Dak Prescott was 72nd. Matt Ryan was 75th. I mean,
Matt Ryan was in college for 37 years. Drew Brees isn't even on this list.
Max Duggan was 62nd. Max Duggan.
Dan LeFevre is on the list.
What?
You don't know who that is?
Yeah, I do. He's from like Central Michigan.
Okay, good job.
He was on the list?
Yes. I did say there'd be a whole stack of like random Florida guys like Rex Grossman.
They were? Okay.
Teddy Bridgewater is 74th.
Again, I don't know if this guy who made up the list was doing this for
for trolling. It's for clicks, clickbait.
Because you can't honestly, with a straight face, say to anybody that Baker Mayfield has been the best quarterback in the last 23 years. You can't.
No.
I don't care about his number. I don't care. Did he win any playoff games? No. Did he win a national championship game? No. Or national championship? No.
Yeah.
Stop. Like, this is comical. And then as soon as you put Kellen Moore ahead of Jameis Winston, your credibility is shot. It's shot. Come on. Kellen Moore. If you put Kellen Moore in the ACC, how do you think Kellen Moore would have done, Jack?
I don't know. But
I'm talking about the ACC back in like 2030. You think he would have done well?
I wouldn't think so.
I mean, he would have done. I mean, I'm sure he would have done well, but like, come on.
Just as a note, his in 2009, he was 7th in Heisman voting, 4th in 2010, and 2011 he was 8th. Kellen Moore.
Cool, and he should be ahead of Jameis Winston.
So I'm just saying that he was barely top.
That's what I'm saying. So what? This guy ranked him ahead of guys like Jameis Winston because why? Because he won 50 games?
And his yardage totals aren't even that exciting.
Yeah, and he threw for a lot of touchdowns in the WAC.
Yeah.
Or whatever conference they were in. What, the Mountain West?
It's the WAC. It's the WAC. And then they became the Mountain West in 2011.
Let me ask you a question. If you would put 2013 Jameis Winston in the Mountain... What was the conference?
It was the WAC/Mountain West.
If you put Jameis Winston in the WAC, what would his numbers... Just tell me what you think he would have done, Jack.
60 touchdowns.
You're joking, but...
Not like, joking. I mean, look, Dwayne Haskins had 50 touchdowns in the Big Ten.
So, Is
Dwayne Haskins on the list, by the way? No?
Listen, I'm sure he is. I love lists like this because it just makes me like... I'm not saying I'm smarter than this guy because I think he probably knows a lot more about college football than I do.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so funny when you see lists like this where it's like, what made you think that was the right decision to put Baker Mayfield at 1?
Yeah.
But this is what I love because we are almost like we're getting towards college football. When you're 100 days away, You can really start thinking about it. You really can.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. You're not because your team has no future and no hope.
What do you mean? Who has no hope?
Like, you have no hope for 2023.
Well, who doesn't have hope?
Maryland.
What do you mean we don't have hope? Hope of what?
Hope to win like the national championship.
Oh no national championship. Why is that a reasonable expectation for anyone except for like Alabama, Georgia, maybe Florida State? You know, why is that a thing? No, I want to win.
I know what
8, 9, 10 games and make a nice bowl game.
This is the first time in 9 years. No, 7 years.
Yeah.
I've had legitimate hope going into a season.
Good. You should have hope. What's nice, no, as a Maryland fan, as I always say, I want to make a bowl. This year, I'd like to not make the mayonnaise bowl. I'd like to make a better bowl than the mayonnaise bowl.
And
I think we can do it. Look, we've got a quarterback who can throw 30 plus touchdowns. We've got.
Well, here's the problem: you have no wide receivers.
We have lots of wide receivers. You
have no good wide receivers.
We had a one-legged Dante Demas. We had a underachieving Rakim Jarrett, and we had a Jacob Copeland who played like one game. That's all we had last year. We have Ja'Shawn Jones, who's 35 years old. He's fine. And we've got a bunch of other transfers and stuff. We'll be okay. And we got some freshmen. And we still have Corey Dyches.
God, you are in love with Corey Dyches.
Look, as a Florida State fan, don't you love like 6'4", 230 pound, 4'5", tight end wide receiver hybrids?
We have one of those.
We have like 7 of those.
No, we have one. We do have we have a wide receiver, tight end, running back hybrid.
Oh, nice. It's the pure H-back.
Yeah, he's like a legitimate pure H-back.
Wow.
I can't wait till we can really start talking college football. But yeah, man, that's really it.
I should talk to Greg and see if we can do an episode from the Maryland football facility, like in the team house.
That would be cool. Unfortunately, like these conference finals have sucked, so it's kind of hard to like really talk about those.
Yeah, no, they're kind of boring.
No, they're real kind of boring. There's a potential chance that we could have the first time ever of both conference finals being sweeps ever in the NBA. So yeah, it's really boring. I don't know anything else. Like, let's see, anything else? Is anything else going on? Yes or no?
I mean, we talked about how your favorite politician, Midge Taylor Green, paid $100,000 in theory for used chapstick from what's his face?
Yeah, I don't even know what to say. I can't even,
because I went to CVS and got chapstick for $4. So I feel like I got a really good deal.
It's I don't even know how to process anything. I mean, your favorite former president is still ranting and raving about shit every day. It's like, as I said, he has worms for brains. It's just remarkable. I don't get it anymore. I really don't. Maybe you do. I don't get it.
There's nothing to get. He sucks.
No, I know he sucks, but it's like, how can you like, we were having this conversation off air where it's like he got found financially liable for defamation of character, correct?
Yes.
And then what did he immediately do about a week later?
Went back to that same well.
Like, imagine if you're the person who just won
was awarded $6 million. Yeah.
Like, what do you like?
You sue him into oblivion. That's all you do.
You call up your lawyer like, did he just do the same thing?
I assure you, the lawyers have Donald Trump and Carol on like Google alerts, and they just get fed all this stuff. And they're like, they probably have a form letter that puts it right into another filing and just goes right back to the court. And then they just stack it up, and then they're like, okay, cool. Now we need to double that number.
Right. It's like, do you think he'll ever learn? Like, so let's say, again, this will be the last thing we talk about before, whatever. So do you think he'll ever learn where it's like, he'll go, like you said, he'll get sued again, lose again.
Yeah.
Defamation. Do you think, like, when he loses again for defamation, his lawyer's like, shut the fuck up?
Yeah.
He won't, will he?
No.
So like you said, you think she'll just have it on like retainer? It's like, I'm suing him again.
The Rolling Stone headline is, how many times does E. Jean Carroll need to sue Donald Trump before he gets the message? Like, yeah, I don't know.
No, in all seriousness, like, that is a fair question. It's like, how many times?
Well, and then, the penalties would double. So like you You say, all right, we got $6 million last time. Now we get $12 million more. Like
like for him, what's gonna like? For him, what would actually hurt him?
And
like,
he hasn't paid any money yet because he's holding. He's doing his bullshit thing where he doesn't pay.
Right.
But yeah, no, you get to the point where he's gonna have to be in contempt of something and get put away, put in prison.
You're E.G. and Carroll, like it's obvious, like whatever. It's like you've got to just be like, all right, cool. I'm gonna keep on suing you, dude.
Yeah, you have to.
But he just doesn't. He doesn't learn.
No, he never learns.
I'm excited for I'm excited to see him continue to get sued and hopefully go to jail. But yeah, I don't know, man. Every day is a new thing with the Republicans. So
yeah, they're nuts. Hopefully, the government doesn't default.
Oh yeah, we hope that doesn't happen. But
that'd be bad for business.
Well, when you're spending $100,000 on chapstick, shows you really don't give a shit about.
Well, it shows also how does she have $100,000 laying around?
Well, that's
isn't the economy bad? Isn't she like a person of the people?
They're liars. They're hypocrites.
Hypocrites, you say?
You think she has $100,000?
I mean, she probably used campaign donations.
Yeah, it's campaign donations. Exactly. That's what she's doing. All the campaign donations for like election fraud, blah blah blah. It's just being spent for charity to go get Kevin McCarthy's used chapstick, which is just fucking weird.
That sounds like money laundering, doesn't it?
Yes.
It's no different than his JPEGs he was selling.
Oh, that's right. Your friend Trump's what were the
his JPEGs?
Oh God. Can you go make? I mean, like those JPEGs. Yeah, that's right.
You're talking about the O's. Batista let up a home run to Aaron Judge in the bottom of the ninth. Now it's 5-5.
Oh, but I thought you had the greatest bullpen that was ever created.
I mean, he's got.
Oh, you said your bullpen is the greatest thing.
They are a very good bullpen. That's all I'm saying.
But now you're giving up home runs to...
No, look, Batista has 2 strikeouts in the bottom ninth and let up a home run to one of the best hitters in baseball who's probably cheating. It's fine.
Why? It doesn't mean not a big deal. Okay, it's not fine. A big deal at all. No, okay.
I mean, Judge hits home runs. He probably could have thrown a different pitch to him.
Yeah. All right, well, anyway, that's that, man. That's that. That's a lot of talk.
Good stuff. Right? That's sports. All right. For Adam, this is Jack. This has been the Adam Gravitz Sports Show. Have a great night.
Gravitz Sports Show.